What is up, my friends? You are all very welcome along to the official start of your weekend, the late night agenda. We're going to take you through all the news around Liverpool Football Club. We'll give you the confirmed fixture date for the last 16 tie of the Europa League as well. A little bit of an update in the managerial search. Xabi Alonso's Leverkusen are currently in action. I did watch the first half, but of course then I had to come and chat with you fine people. So I hope you're all in good spirits this evening. Looking forward to catching up with you all. Thank you to those who joined us earlier on as well. Apologies I was a minute or two late, but I had a last minute dash to the toilet, so I won't go into too much detail, but I'm back and I'm ready to go. So appreciate you. I hope you enjoyed Newland's dance routine. I know the song's probably getting a little bit old at this point, but it's that or I record a song, and I know which one you guys prefer. Or do I? Anyway, how are we? Hello Nomad, how are you, mate? Welcome in. Lee Claxon, always a pleasure. Jared Phelan, Trevor, everybody else in the chat. SZOBOSZLAI in England is fake on Twitter. I know, Troy, but you know, I've got to tease you with it, bro. Come on now, give me some credit. Look, yes, he is, and there was a lot of confusion around where Dominic SZOBOSZLAI is, but we have confirmed and figured out that he isn't indeed in Malta, but there was a lot of confusion for quite a while. He was on Twitch streaming with a mate of his, and people were saying, what? Dominic SZOBOSZLAI's in Malta? How could he be in Malta? Jurgen Klopp and Pep Linders were just giving us the info that he's under consideration for the weekend. So, nothing to fear about, but I tell you what, it definitely had me scrambling for a while to try and figure out what on earth was going on there. And then some kind Twitch streamer or person on social media actually let the world know what was happening. And of course, I'll take you through that as well. Why the dancing alien? Why not the dancing alien? So, look, I see, silly me assumes people all understand what the dancing alien's about. But obviously, as our community grows, people are going to have to be informed on what Newland is about. Right, so, my friend, who asked the question? Dragos. So when we were in the COVID season and we won the Premier League, you probably remember a lot of people wanted the season null and voided. You know, you had Karen Brady, a couple of Arsenal fans, and lots of other people who were making shout for the season to be null and voided. Now, of course, us winning the league that season, we were having none of it. So we decided that we needed a little response to those people, and we did that in the shape of a dancing alien called Newland Voider, as in null and void. So that's where the dancing alien originated from, and then we start using them jokingly as celebratory moments and goals and stuff like that, and now people ask for them every time we score. They want the dancing alien, and some people want my silly singing alongside it. So that's where he comes from, that's what it's about. And why wouldn't you want to dance an alien? I mean, you know what I mean? It's very us, isn't it? It's very us. You know, we're not boring, we're not normal, we're not down to earth and straightforward. We like to keep you guys on your toes and think, did I see a dancing alien? Of course you did. What else would you expect from Anfield Agenda? So there you go. For those of you who didn't know what the dancing alien was about, I hope at least now you've got some context. Right. So, let's start off with what was going on today. So, Anfield Sector posted to say, Dominic SZOBOSZLAI is streaming on Twitch, live from Malta. Now, to be fair to them, absolutely looked like they were streaming from Malta. But then it was figured out that this was actually somebody, a friend of SZOBOSZLAI's who was streaming, who just, you know, photoshopped in the Malta flag to throw people off and allow them to stream on Twitch and make it maybe not look like it was Dominic SZOBOSZLAI on there. But it did have a lot of us running around very quickly going, what? Malta? How can he be in Malta and at the AXA training facility? So that's what it's about, and he is in England, so we don't need to worry about that. It was cleared up a little bit earlier on. So that's where we're at with that one. The fixture dates have been confirmed for Liverpool's last 16 tie with Sparta Prague. These are the dates that you can expect the games. The first leg at the Stadion Letna is scheduled to kick off at 5:45. So we have the early kickoff time on Thursday, March the 7th. So that's 5:45 GMT UK Irish time. With the second leg at Anfield 8 p.m. kickoff on Thursday, March the 14th. So early kickoff for the first leg over in Prague, second leg at Anfield, March 14th, 8 p.m. Now they're both, of course, sandwiched either side of the Manchester City game, which we play on March the 10th. And the last game then before we head off for the March international break is scheduled at present to be Everton away. So that's where we're at the minute. So just to confirm, March the 7th over in Prague and March the 14th at Anfield, 5:45 for the first one and 8 p.m. for the second one. Key dates to keep in your diaries as well, by the way, if you want to follow the progress through the Europa League, or maybe you're looking at attending some of the games. The quarterfinals of the Europa League will take place on April 11th and April 18th. Semi-finals May 2nd and May 9th. And of course the final will take place at the Aviva Stadium in my beautiful home city of Dublin on May 22nd. So semi-final 2nd and 9th and the final May 22nd. So keep those dates in your diary. 5:45 in the morning. Troy, are you going to just ask stupid questions now? Or, of course it's not 5:45 in the morning. When have you ever seen Liverpool or anybody play in the European competition at 5:45 in the morning, Troy? Come on now. Karen, good evening to you as well. Nice to see you in. What country is Sparta? Sparta Prague. So what? Prague is in Czechia, I think. Isn't that what it's called now? Not the Czech Republic. It's called Czechia, I think now. When is the Chelsea one? The League Cup final? Sunday. Surely you know that, mate. League Cup final Sunday. And of course, preview went out earlier on today, like I promised. It'll be out at 6 o'clock. And I'm going to take you through my predicted team just to get your thoughts on it. FA Cup final would technically be the last fixture of the season, Abbas. And I don't know the date off the top of my head. But it would be technically the very last game of the football calendar, I believe, the FA Cup final. Right. It's not called the Czech Republic anymore, Lazatron. I think they're called Czechia these days, if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, where was I going? What was I doing next? League Cup final team, yes. So, we did put up the preview earlier on. Of course, I hope you get a chance to watch it. If you didn't, well, shame on you. Nah, if you didn't, I'm going to go through it in a moment. But before I do, just a little shout out. You guys often ask, particularly on games like the Luton Town game, where it wasn't on TV in the UK, people often say to me in the chat, Craig, how are you watching it? Quite simply with our friends Surfshark. As you can see, we are tonight being brought to you with thanks to Surfshark, which is an app or browser extension that allows you to change your location and access websites in other countries and keep you safe from hackers. So for me, I use Surfshark, obviously, for my Spanish DAZN account, which allows me to watch games that aren't on TV in the UK or Ireland. Surfshark allows you to virtually travel around the world with just the tap of a finger. For example, using Surfshark, we here in Ireland can access other countries' Netflix libraries, BBC iPlayer and other services that are often region locked. Surfshark keeps you safe and private by protecting everything you do online. When your device connects to the internet, all that information is in a way blurred out. Surfshark is particularly useful if you're out and about on public Wi-Fi, if you're at college or in a cafe and stuff like that. Surfshark also allows you to use just one subscription. This is my favourite part of Surfshark, by the way. They allow you to use just one subscription on unlimited devices. You can even share your account with your family and friends. On top of this, Surfshark offers a 30-day money-back guarantee. So if you don't like it, our friends at Surfshark will give you a refund. You can upgrade to Surfshark 1, which will include the VPN and alert system for breaches related to your data, such as emails and credit cards and antivirus software. Our fantastic sign-up offer gives you Surfshark for just over €2 per month and up to 6 months additional free. Simply scan the QR code on screen or use the code Anfield Agenda, all one word, at checkout. Right, JC Galvanil, I seen you gifted 5 memberships, buddy, at the start of the stream. Thank you for that one. Heavy Metal D, thank you for your super chat, sir. Said, Craig, just heard something that could happen. If Liverpool beat Southampton, then the Everton game could be the last game of the season, depending on what points they're on. That could relegate them. So yes, we are kind of keeping an eye on the Everton game, because if we indeed get past Southampton, I think that weekend is fixtured or scheduled for FA Cup games. So yes, if we beat Southampton, I believe the Everton game will not be scheduled as it is now, and it would be moved. I don't know when to. We'll have to wait and see on that one. I doubt it. It's not going to be moved to the last game of the season. I'd be very, very surprised, because you know the way the Premier League always have the last games of the season all kicking off at the same time. And I don't see how they're going to rejig it to put Everton in there. So I think they'd have to cram it in before then. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, all the final games of the season are due to be broadcast this year as well for the first time. Anyone knows SZOBOSZLAI's Twitch account? No, I don't off the top of my head. But I'm sure a quick search will find the answer for you. Kadar said, love you all from Minneapolis, Minnesota. How are we, my friend? Welcome in. Vikings country. Welcome in, mate. Great to have you with us, and thank you for your support. Obviously, you guys probably heard this as well, but Liverpool will return to the United States this summer. Again, just confirmation. Liverpool will be returning to the United States this summer for their pre-season tour to face Arsenal and Manchester United in friendlies. The information for them is as follows. Liverpool will fly to the States in July and will come up against Arteta's Arsenal at the Lincoln Financial Field Stadium in Philadelphia on the 31st. Before a glamorous and lucrative friendly against Eric Ten Hag's Manchester United at the William Bryce Stadium in Columbia, South Carolina on August the 3rd. So 31st of July, Liverpool Arsenal in Philly, and then for the August the 3rd game, Liverpool Manchester United in South Carolina. So put those dates in your diaries if you are indeed watching us from America or you want to get to see the Reds. There you go, 2 dates confirmed. I think this is the first time they've been over since 19 or 21, since the Reds have been back over. Mark's just given me confirmation that the FA Cup final is on the 25th of May, because one of you guys did ask earlier on. So 25th of May for the FA Cup final. Tom Derby said Leverkusen pool, though that could work. Leverkusen drawing against Mainz. I watched the first half of it. 2 things stood out to me. One, Leverkusen's system is more important than the players inside the system. I was watching it, and it is very clear that it is the system and players buying into the system. So what I took from watching that was thinking the caliber of our players in that system would be even greater, particularly at the attacking end of the pitch. And also Sepp van den Berg, I was watching him because of course he plays for Mainz. And he was having a very, very good game leading that Mainz defence, holding the defensive line. And you could see his leadership qualities there in the game. It was fairly obvious to see. So I don't know what that means with regards to Sepp van den Berg's Liverpool future. You know, a decision will have to be probably made in the summer. But he certainly looked comfortable to me out there and was leading that line for Mainz. So impressive stuff from Sepp. Will pre-season tour of the USA be our first game with Xabi? I don't know. Honestly. Obviously, that's where a lot of people were thinking, are Liverpool going to have Xabi Alonso at that time? I don't know. But it seems to be becoming a bit more apparent to the media that the options for Xabi Alonso are either stay at Leverkusen or go to Liverpool. So Bayern Munich are very quickly falling away here as a realistic option for Xabi Alonso. But I was mentioning this earlier on, and I guess I got to go back to it. Stephen Warnock had something pretty interesting to say, actually, about the possibility of who he thinks Liverpool's primary target is. Is that probably the fairest way to say it? So I'll read it out to you, and you can make your own mind up. Is this the one? Yeah. No, that's Linder's. Bear with me. Where's my information? This one, yes. So this is what Stephen Warnock had to say about Liverpool's managerial search. Xabi Alonso will have only come onto their radar in the past year or so, and there may have been somebody else in the back of their mind that they were thinking of that could replace Jurgen Klopp. He goes on to say, the manager I imagine is leading the candidate race is Roberto De Zerbi because of the way he came into the Premier League, and due to his success with Brighton, he's done an incredible job and almost works within the resources that Klopp has had to work with as well. Goes on to say, however, Xabi has gone into Bayer Leverkusen, taken them from struggling near the bottom of the table, last season to a European place. I kind of disagree with Stephen Warnock. I disagree on two things. One, I don't think that Alonso's only coming on Liverpool's radar now because he took over at Leverkusen. I believe Alonso would have been somebody Liverpool would have been looking at right from the Sociedad days. So disagree with them a little bit on that. And also, I don't think Roberto De Zerbi would have been the top priority for the club in this recruitment search. I think that's become clear pretty quickly that it's Xabi Alonso. So look, of course, everybody has an opinion, and Stephen Warnock is a really sound fella by all accounts, and I always enjoy listening to him talk about football, but I would disagree with him respectfully on my own thought process of who's leading or who's the top candidate for the job. And another one is, there was something else on this that I disagreed with him on. We'll get back to it in a minute. Pep Lijnders has also been speaking, and this is something that I wanted to talk to you guys about because it's about why Lijnders is leaving Liverpool. Because a lot of you guys have said to me, why is Lijnders not putting himself forward for the job, or would Lijnders stay around and become part of Xabi Alonso's recruitment team or the next manager's team? And this is what Pep Lijnders had to say. I'm going to put this in front of me so I can read it clearer. We knew already in the summer that we are coming towards the end of this project. Now, he didn't go as far there as to say we knew in the summer Klopp was going to be leaving this year, but he did say that he certainly seemingly had a sense that they were coming to the end of the project. The last years I got offers. My heart always said yes. My loyalty and my respect and friendship with Mike Gordon and Jurgen said no. So the moment we spoke and he said, I'm thinking about leaving, I said, that's it for me. It's clear. I will go and manage. We will end this project together. I feel that it's the project of a lot of people, and I feel that it's the right way to do it like this. The club can find a new coach with new elements, but I'm excited to manage. I'm excited to go, to find the right club who really wants me. But until the last final of the season, I'm focused on Liverpool, not on what's happening now. That's why we have agents. No? So you can see that he just wants the clean break by the looks of it. And I can understand that. I don't think he would have got the Liverpool job, but no problem with Pep Lijnders wanting to go and establish himself as a manager. He probably deserves that chance. In fact, of course, he deserves that chance because he's a very highly regarded coach. But, you know, they're the words from the man himself around the situation and why he's leaving Liverpool. Our boy Vandenberg giving Xabi forward some trouble. I know, I was just commenting on it, Jack. I was impressed. Now, I only seen the first 45 minutes of the Mainz and Leverkusen game. But yeah, Vandenberg looked like he was certainly marshalling that defensive line for Mainz. No, Alonso, I'm not confident. I think Amorim. I think that's what you meant to write, Daryl. Anyway, look, I'm going to be honest, Daryl. I'm not going to knock anybody who feels still maybe on the fence about Alonso. I get it. You know, he hasn't got a great long CV of managing clubs. He hasn't. But he does have an incredible amount of football knowledge, experience, and what he's doing and what he's done and shown with Sociedad, getting them promoted, the B team, up to as high as they're allowed to go in La Liga, which is La Liga 2, I believe. And then, of course, taking over a Leverkusen team who were, I think, 5 points from 8 games when he took over, if I remember correctly, down towards the relegation zone in the Bundesliga, to turning that around in this season. Being 8 points clear at present, they'd be 11 points clear with Bayern having a game in hand if they won tonight. Obviously still in the DFB Pokal, the German Cup, still in the Europa League, and one of, I think, actually the only team remaining in Europe's top leagues that are unbeaten. So there's certainly a lot positive about it, Daryl, but I get where you're coming from, mate. Ruben Amorim, by all accounts, seems to be the second choice on the list based off what we've seen in the media. I'm still trying to educate myself on Ruben Amorim. I'm definitely late to the party on him, but I can understand why people would would have concerns over Alonso. I don't personally have them same concerns, but I respect that people may have. Scott, thank you for being with us as an Ultras member for 4 months, mate. Appreciate you. Said, unpopular opinion, I believe that Salah, Darwin and SZOBOSZLAI should rest and not be rushed into the Carabao Cup final. I don't think that's as unpopular as you might think, Scott. Certainly earlier on when we were talking about this, I was saying that for me, Salah, I can understand being in the matchday squad and playing from the start, because it wasn't that he was being rushed back from an injury. He just felt a bit of strain and a bit of cramping and stuff after probably playing more than the club would have wanted him to in the game he came on recently. So I get your concern there. Darwin, what I said earlier on is, if he's fit to be on the bench, okay, but I wouldn't bring him on unless we really, really needed him to. You know, if we're 2-0 up going into the last 20, 25 minutes, I'd leave him there and rest him up and have him ready for the game against Forest. SZOBOSZLAI, I don't know what to expect. That's the honest thing, mate. We've seen Darwin and we've seen Salah in the training pictures today, but didn't see SZOBOSZLAI at the AXA training facility so far. So I don't think it's unpopular. I think you're just trying to obviously not have one game for the lads to play and then more injuries and it knock on long term. I think most people will understand where you're coming from. A Centino, thank you, mate, said, do you think that Liverpool needs one more midfielder? Yes, an experienced one, because we're going to lose Thiago in the summer. And if you look at the profile of the midfielders in the squad, Elliott young, Bajcetic young, Jones young, McAllister young but experienced, but just getting into that nice age bracket. SZOBOSZLAI young. So I think if you're going to replace somebody like Thiago Alcantara, yes, I'd like somebody 26, 27, 28 to come in and add that bit of experience and depth to the midfield. Or at least, experience is probably the word I'm looking for. What's going on with the physio team? Are they rushing Darwin, Mo and SZOBOSZLAI again? No, nobody said that. And nobody said that in the first place. Look, it's understandable that people are concerned that we're getting players back, they're playing a couple of games and then they seemingly are injured again. But in these situations, it often comes down to what the player wants. So if the scans are showing that they're okay, if they're training well, and if the player's not feeling any real ill effects, the manager will often come to them and say, what do you think? How are you feeling? And players being players sometimes are braver than they should be and would say, put me in, coach, gaffer, want to play. And sometimes they need to be saved from themselves. That's my take of it. But also, yes, there is maybe something to how hard our boys are trained and worked and how much distance they cover and the style of football we play. So it's probably the truth, probably somewhere in the middle. Zubimendi would be my choice. I think he's mid-20s. We've certainly been linked with him. I'm trying to remember, I think, if I'm not mistaken, somewhere about 40 to 50 million euro was mentioned, but I could be wrong on that one. Utas5 said, what's up with the title? Right, I'll go through it once more, mate, because I understand some people will be coming in late. Earlier on today, there was news breaking that showed Dominic SZOBOSZLAI streaming on Twitch with his mate that looked like it was live from Malta. And people were going, hang on a minute, why is Dominic SZOBOSZLAI in Malta? But as the day went on, information seemed to become a little bit clearer that this wasn't indeed the case. One user on Twitter posted at Anfield Sector, who were the ones that broke the story initially, hey, I'm Hungarian. His friend purposely chooses another country, not the UK, because they want to keep it low-key that Christoph and SZOBOSZLAI are there together streaming. So to be honest, Christoph, SZOBOSZLAI's mate, photoshops the flag and the caption every time at the beginning of the stream. So I guess they're just trying to go low-key when they're streaming, and that's why. But for a time, Liverpool Twitter was like, what? What's going on? Why is Dominic SZOBOSZLAI over in Malta? But then this gentleman on there seemingly cleared it up. So that's what the confusion was about. And it certainly had me going for a while, mate. I won't lie. I was thinking, but Linder said that he's close and potentially an option. So yeah, 2-1 Leverkusen. By the way, the chat's letting me know. So Normal service resumed there in the Bundesliga. Do you think we should be looking for other goalkeepers? Well, I think yes, we have to plan for the possibility of Creevy and Kelleher departing again in the summer. I say again because it's come up for the last few windows. And I've always been of the mindset that I understand the possibility of him going and playing first team football. Whether that means we look at Jaros or Pitaluga to step up to the number 2 position, Karen, I don't know the answer to that one yet. Both on loan, of course, this season. So, yeah, your guess is as good as mine there. I hope... Oh, God, that sounds a bit shitty, Craig. I'm going to say it because I don't like him. Hopefully we get rid of Adrian in the summer. I just... You know, I'll be a lot happier when I don't see his name either on the substitutes bench or anywhere near the team, because I just can't take to the man, honestly. I know I'm a bit bitter about it all, but I don't like him. But I do understand, and James Pearce wrote a good piece on this, it's difficult to find a third choice goalkeeper that's going to show up, have experience, train really well, be good around the squad. I can imagine it is difficult, but also he's on like 60 or 70 grand a week, I think, from what I was last told anyway. Now, if anybody's a correction on that, please happily correct me, but it just feels weird. Last I'd heard, he was on more money than Kelleher. People saying that's a bit mean. It's a genuine opinion. I mean, you know me, I tell you the truth. I don't lie to you. I still haven't let go of his Atletico Madrid howlers. Yeah, it sits with me, and yeah, I don't like him. It's as simple as that. I'm not lying to you. I'm telling you the truth. I don't like him. Is that Karius in goal for Mainz? No, but I had a double take earlier on for Fritz Frank as well when I seen him with the beard and all. I was like, is that Karius? Like, no, Craig, he's at Newcastle. But no, I did have a double take like myself earlier on when I seen the keeper. Have I ever met a Liverpool player? Yes. Ones I've met are Carragher, Haman, Carragher, Haman, Smeetzer, Jibril Cisse, Luis Garcia, couple more, I think. Maybe none of the current squad anyway. Any progress? And you said you wanted player interviews in this channel. Yeah, we applied and sent a request across to interview Virgil van Dijk. The club's media team got back to us. Pretty nice email, to be fair. Just simply said a lot of requests, as you can imagine, and with the commitments they have at the minute, they don't have a space. But to keep in touch with them, and they'll see if anything's possible in the future. That's kind of the gist of what they said. But fair play, you know, they did get back to us. I was able to meet Pepe Reina when I came across a few games years ago. Great guy. I'd love to have had a chat with Pepe Reina. Yeah, I idolise Reina. Thought he was a fantastic keeper for us. Obviously didn't like the way he left, but I'm just trying to go through some more notes just to make sure I'm not missing any key things here. So yeah, this isn't breaking news, but it is interesting to see that Liverpool are still working with this group. This is from James Pearce on The Athletic, so it's up there if you want the full article. Definitely say go have a read of it. But James wrote that Liverpool have been working with German neuroscientists this week as they prepare for the possibility of another penalty shootout in Sunday's final against Chelsea. Dr. Nicholas Hausler and Dr. Patrick Hanschke, again, apologies on my pronunciation, the founders of Potsdam-based Neuro 11, attach electrodes to players' heads to measure brain activity and help get them in the zone by reaching their optimal mental state. They first started working together with the club back in the summer of 2021, and Jurgen Klopp credited them with having an important role to play in Liverpool's domestic cup final success over Chelsea 2 seasons ago. Both the 2022 Carabao Cup and the FA Cup finals went to penalties, with Klopp's side prevailing on each occasion. Across the two shootouts, Liverpool scored 17 of their 18 penalties, with the only one being missed, one from Sadio Mane. So again, that full article is there on The Athletic if you get a chance to go and read it. But I love that we're leaving no stone unturned and we're looking for any little tiny edge that we can get. And the thing that stands out to me about the last penalty shootout is probably the one that stands out to you. Kepa trying to have mind games with Virgil van Dijk standing to one side of the goal and Van Dijk just burying the ball into the top corner of the same side and making him look like a fool. Addy, I've gone through the Malta stuff 3 times, bro. We've been live half an hour now. Rewind it, watch it back yourself, mate, and you'll find out what it's all about. Again, not going back over it multiple times, folks. I like to reward the people that come into the streams on time when we're here at 8:30. And if you would like to know what the stream title's all about, by all means, just rewind the stream back. Or wait till the end when we do a recap. But, you know, got to look after the people who are here live, and we got to make sure that we keep going and moving forward with the content. Am I being a bit of a shithouse now? Do I mean to be? Do I still love you? Will I now go back over it because I've been an asshole? Yes. No problem, lads. So basically, the gist is this. Dominic SZOBOSZLAI was streaming on Twitch with his mate. It showed the location as being Malta. It was cleared up when somebody said he's streaming with his mate. His mate photoshops in the Malta thing to make it look like it isn't them, to keep them a bit more low-key, not to fear about it. They are indeed in the UK. There you go. That's the gist of it. But for a while, I had Liverpool Twitter all going, huh? What's going on here? Anfield Sector, I think, originally posted. And they said, Dominic SZOBOSZLAI is streaming on Twitch, ... live from Malta. And that had me going to Connor, what's this? Why is SZOBOSZLAI in Malta? So then we start searching. And eventually, we found a user that posted and tagged in or replied to Anfield Sector, and they said, I'm Hungarian. His friend purposely chooses another country, not the UK, because they want to keep it low-key, that Christoph and SZOBOSZLAI are there. To be honest, Christoph photoshopped the flag and the caption every time at the beginning of their streams. So there you go. But for a while, we were all thinking, is this injury a little bit more than maybe Pep Linders said earlier on? He did say that he's touch and go for the final, but if he's in Malta... But he wasn't, thankfully. So there we go. Hi, Craig. Will you be at Wembley to watch the Cup final on Sunday? No, I'll be here with you guys, as always. As I mentioned, I turned down the opportunity to go to the Europa League final if we get there. I sorted that out yesterday. But no, my priority for all the finals, mate, are to try and be here with you guys, because that's where I want to be. Would love to get to Wembley at some point, though. It's definitely on my bucket list of stadiums. But no, I will be here on Sunday. And what's my prediction? I went 3-1. Yeah, I went 3-1 earlier on. I'm just thinking out loud here about my team. I'm happy to run through my team, by the way. So my team for the final would be as follows. Kelleher in goal, Bradley at right back, Kanade, Van Dijk and Andy Robertson at left back. In midfield with Toro Endo, Alexis McAllister and Ryan Gravenberch. And then up top, I think you start Salah, Gakpo in the middle and Diaz on the left. Now, first question you're going to have for me is, why no Elliott? I think we need that extra bit of height in midfield, because if you look at Toro Endo and Alexis McAllister, their battling abilities, their press resistance are not questioned, but a little bit of height in midfield I think will do us no harm with Gravenberch there. And then we've Elliott if we need to bring him off the bench to make an impact. Also, Gomez. People are probably going to say Gomez should start at left back. I disagree, because I always feel if you have a left-footed left back, it makes more sense to play a left-footed left back. And also, Andy Robertson is our left back. So that's my thought process ahead of the League Cup final. But of course, that's just it. My thoughts. Doesn't mean it's going to happen. That's just the team that I guess will take to the pitch. What about Tsimikas at left back? Right now, honestly, he's my third choice left back. I would have Gomez ahead of Kostas Tsimikas. Based off what we've seen from Joe this season, I think he gives a better balance than Costas. How's your evening? Really good, thank you, my friend. Yeah, really good. We're talking about what can I say on this? Currently, we are in discussions behind the scenes to potentially be part of a really, really, really exciting new venture. But I don't want to go into it in too much detail yet because it's early discussions and there's a few more calls and stuff to be figured out. But it's exciting, and it's exciting to be acknowledged for the work that we do as well. Can't go into too much detail on it, but it's very, very exciting stuff. SZOBOSZLAI was using Surfshark, said Laser Sharp. Well, if he was, I certainly hope that he used our code Anfield Agenda, all one word at checkout, Laser Sharp, because as we all know, that offer will give you Surfshark for just over €2 per month and up to 6 months additional free. All Dominic SZOBOSZLAI would have had to have done is scan the QR code on the screen or use the link in the description. He probably knows that though. Craig cross with LFC TV. No, it isn't that. Yeah, we've never had any contact from the club about anything like that. So no, it's nothing to do with that. Only Craig. No, it isn't just it's not a Craig thing. It's a project that is being put together. It's quite impressive. And they've asked us to be a part of it, and an important part of it, and we're in discussions at the minute. That's all I can say to you, but it will be something, I promise you, you will be very excited about and proud of, and looking forward to not just us, but other people as well who have already been contacted about it. I can't say any more at the minute, but Ben had the first call today with the people in question, and it sounds really, really interesting. Charity match? No, way bigger. This, honestly, I can't tell you what it is because, you know, there's confidentiality, but it's exciting, and I'm nervously excited by it, put it that way. But you know what I'm not nervously excited by? Our live show in Boston. If you are in that beautiful city of Boston or surrounding areas and you want to come and see us, we are going to be there March 22nd in the House of Blues, in the Foundation Room, right beside Fenway Park. We'd love to see it. You can get your tickets on Ticketmaster. It's the only show of the Anfield Agenda World Tour. So yes, please do come see us in Boston if you're in that neck of the woods. We'd love to have a chat with you, connect with you about Liverpool, and of course share a few drinks and laughs on the night as well. Anfield Agenda FC. No, as I said, it's nothing that's centric to Anfield Agenda, the project I'm talking about. Now, it's not just for us, and it's not something that will, you know, just be Anfield Agenda. No, this is an exciting thing for lots of people involved in what we do. Leverkusen about to break Bayern's record, said Derek. Congrats. Yep. This will, if they hang on and you know, get this 2-1 victory that they're currently winning, they will be 11 points clear at the top of the Bundesliga, albeit, of course, Bayern do have a game in hand. Finn, how are you, mate? Nice to see you. Anfield Agenda to purchase Torquay United. No, it's not us buying a football club, Jesus. I mean, mate, I barely have the money to buy EAFC as a game, let alone a football club. But no, you know, I can't tell you what it is. But honestly, you'll all love it. I promise you that. No matter if you like our channel, other channels, you will love this project. It is really damn cool. Really cool. Craig has been asked to be part of the documentary. Actually, no, I haven't. I was hoping, and I won't lie to you, bro. I was hoping that whoever is making a documentary on Jurgen Klopp's last days reached out to us, because I would have loved to have contributed a few words to it. I'm sure, you know, the Anfield Rap Boys or the lads at Red Men may be involved in it, and of course they'll do a great job as well. But yeah, it would have been lovely to to have a little part in it. You know, we did have our content used in other documentaries before. One of them about Jurgen Klopp, which was beautiful. It's amazing to be a part of. But no, it's nothing to do with that. Craig boxing Paul Tierney at Anfield. You've got me, Harry. That's it. Me boxing Paul Tierney. That's the one. No, mate. It wouldn't be. I think the weight classes might be an issue there. Craig, can you say hi to my missus? She's listening to the stream. Her name is Dee. Dee. Thank you for letting your fella listen to the stream. Thank you for listening to this Irishman ramble on. And of course, my friend, thank you for your super chat as well. So yes, Dee. Appreciate you. Thank you. Craig dancing with the stars. Could you imagine the state of that? No, I wouldn't put myself through it, mate. Honestly, me dancing with the stars. Craig falling through the ice is probably closer. Will people like Adam and Lee Gunner be involved? I'd love to see both of them. It's again. Sorry, I have to cough. It will be a project that would see a lot of content creators involved in it. The specifics of who would be involved in it wouldn't be down to me because I'm not leading the project. But it would involve a lot of content creators. I could say that much, yes. Craig collabing with Taylor Swift at Anfield. Well, I was assuming I was going to open for her now. You know, and also I know she's playing at the Santiago Bernabeu near Madrid's last game of the season. So Taylor, you know, what are you waiting for? We all know. You know, I won't show you up, by the way, Tay. I promise you. I'll let you shine like the star that you are. But, you know, you can't tell me that 60,000 people at Anfield wouldn't like the big screen with Newlon on both sides of it, me going, sunshine, moonlight, good times, Tay. See, I've done it. Job done. You're a big tease. Give us a hint. I can't, Liz. I genuinely cannot give you a hint because it's at a very sensitive stage. So I cannot give you any more hints on it than that. As long as Thogden or Jen is Irish guy and other people aren't that make bait for you. I know at least two of them won't be involved. That's all I can say. Do your ultras get a bigger hint in Discord? They will be the first to know. They always do that, to be fair. They were the first to know about the shows, and they will be the first to know. 100%, yes. People that are in our Anfield Agenda Discord group and have ultra memberships always get the information first, yes. Nice cough, Craig. No, I do have a cough, genuinely. I'm still kind of a bit mucusy after my illness. Right, anyway, I've got lots more stuff to go through today. Lots more content to talk about. So, I'm trying to think of a poll. Okay, I've got it now. I'm going to ask you guys to help me out with something. I just want to see how you answer this. Right, so the question is, do you think both Salah and Darwin start on Sunday? Poll is live. It's a simple yes or no. I just want to see what you're thinking. You know, will they both start? That's the question. Answer what you're feeling, yes or no. What's your opinion on the young Brazilian at Benfica? Well, you're getting banned, is my opinion, mate. If you want to hear me say the words molester, just say, hey, Craig, I'm a real idiot. Can you say the word molester? Because I have the humour of a fucking 5-year-old. And I will say it, mate. Molester. See? Brilliant. We can all laugh now. But you can laugh from obscurity because you're gone. And it doesn't even fucking sound Brazilian. That's the worst part of it. It sounds in no way Brazilian. American, Irish, English, Australian. You know, Mo Leicester sounds the furthest thing from Brazilian possible. So, shame on you, because it's a shit joke. Haga said, does anybody else here feel like we don't really have any limbs at Anfield anymore? Just people clapping and putting their fists in the air. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means, honestly. Like, my question about this is, I always defend what is the lazy answer, which is blame the day trippers. That really riles me, because my point is this: who do they think is selling the tickets to the people that they want to blame for the atmosphere? It's most likely people who have season tickets, or people who have access to tickets selling them on for exorbitant profits. And of course, travel agents, official partners, all this kind of stuff. But I always find it lazy that people moan about the atmosphere because of, and want to point to overseas fans or non-locals. That's not the case. It's a mixture of things. Like, you've all been to games, and sometimes I've been in the main stand and I've seen people trying to sing, and I've seen older locals look at them and go, shut up, lad. And I've also seen young people in the cop who are local be amazing and get the atmosphere going. I've seen some people, yeah, of course, be annoying with phones and selfie sticks, but I've seen other people come from all parts of the world and sing their heart out. Truth of the matter is, the atmosphere at Anfield has lots of issues, but it's still an amazing place that creates an amazing atmosphere. If you ask me what I think the number one priority of an issue is at Anfield, it's very difficult to get people of a similar mindset together. So you see ultra sections in other stadiums, or you hear about groups of people being able to go to the games together. I don't know how workable this is, but I've always liked the idea of an unreserved section. So let's say the Cop, just as an example. Sections of the Cop where people get tickets in there, but they aren't a specific seat. So if you tend to know people, let's say, and there's 20 of you that are going, but you're all in different areas of it, congregate together, create the atmosphere. Obviously, you want to get new young blood in as well, so you want to get somewhat of a boys' pen back in there, I guess, perhaps. I don't know. There's so many different things that contribute to the atmosphere. But what I will say is, there's still no place like Anfield. Look at the Luton Town game. Look at the second half. Listen to the Luton manager. Anfield is a special, special place. No matter who's inside it, it delivers when it needs to for the players and for the manager. And we have the best fans in the world. No matter where they come from, whether you're local, Irish, Norwegian, American, doesn't matter. We have the best fans in the world. Ace and Tino, thank you, mate, for gifting 5 memberships. You're really kind. SZOBOSZLAI news, Craig, what's happened? I've gone over this like 4 times already. There was confusion that he was streaming in Malta on Twitch. It was originally posted by Anfield Sector. They said Dominic SZOBOSZLAI streaming on Twitch, ... live from Malta, and then they credited @clash_LFC for the spot. But it was quickly figured out that it was his friend who was using a fake location setting, just so they could stream, I guess, and not draw attention to themselves as much. But I had us all in a bit of a confused state for a while, going, why is he in Malta? Linder said this morning he was close to being back. So after, I don't know, half an hour of madness, it became clear what the situation was. Who do I think will be the next Ireland manager? Honestly, haven't got a clue. I have not got a clue. Yeah, no idea. You know, I've seen all kinds of names mentioned, from Steve Bruce to Roy Keane to Neil Lennon, to is it Will Stearman? Was that his name? To Lee Carsley, who ruled himself out. I've no idea. Pronoun said Dichwich Craig on Viltu Gama Tome Gama. That's about all you're getting out of me in Irish, though, mate. You know, that's about the level of my Oshguelga. Would I want Linders to coach the youngsters? No, I think he's above the level of coaching the youngsters. And I mentioned this earlier, but I'm happy to go back through it. Pep Linders did indeed open up on his own departure from Liverpool. speaking. He said, "We already knew in the summer that we're coming towards the end of this project. The last years I got offers. My heart always said yes. My loyalty and my respect and friendship with Mike Gordon and Jurgen said no." He went on to say, "So the moment we spoke and Jurgen said, 'I'm thinking about leaving,' I said, 'That's it. For me, it's clear. I will go and manage. We'll end this project together. I feel like it's the project of a lot of people, and I feel that it's the right way to do it like this. The club can find a new coach with new elements, but I'm excited to manage. I'm excited to go find the right club who really wants me." So he just wants to establish himself as a manager, and I think he stayed with Jurgen and the project out of respect for Jurgen, and obviously the freedom that Jurgen gave him to help with the coaching and stuff and take the sessions. But time has come for him, and I think Victor Mata as well, to go and become coaches or managers themselves. Totally understand that. Again, mentioned this earlier, I'm sure you've seen it, but in case you haven't, Liverpool have confirmed that they will be returning to the United States for their pre-season tour this summer, where they will face Arsenal and Manchester United in 2 friendlies. Liverpool fly to America in late July, where they'll take on Mikel Arteta's Arsenal at the Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia on the 31st of July. Next up then will be Manchester United and Eric Ten Hag's side at the William Bryce Stadium in Columbia, South Carolina on August the 3rd. So again, Philadelphia, 31st of July, Liverpool Arsenal. August the 3rd, Williams Bryce Stadium in Columbia, South Carolina against Manchester United. Some more dates and confirmation of times as well. The confirmation of when exactly we will be taking on Sparta Prague has been announced. First leg will take place at the Stadion Letna at 5:45 p.m. UK Irish time, Thursday, March the 7th. So the earlier kickoff slot there. And the second leg will take place at Anfield, Thursday, March 14th, 8 p.m. kickoff. And in the middle of that, on the 10th, is Manchester City. So hopefully we've no more injuries ahead of that, and then we are scheduled to play Everton in the final game before the international break. But if we get past Southampton, I think that game could be moved, to the best of my understanding. But they're the games we have scheduled in. Obviously, we've got Nottingham Forest. Actually, I've got the list here. I don't need the list. I've got it off the top of my head. We've got the game coming up on at the week. Who are we playing next up? We've got Chelsea coming up the weekend on Sunday. Then we've got Wednesday against Southampton. Then we come up against Nottingham Forest on Saturday at 3 p.m. Europa League game midweek. Manchester City Europa League game the following midweek. And then we're scheduled to play Everton for the international break. But if we get past Southampton, I think that's going to be rescheduled and it'll be an FA Cup week, I think. Benjamin Alford said, "It's because of the success that we were not successful. We seem louder to get the team going. Last week, like Wednesday, was one of the best atmospheres. I went to the Olympiacos game. It was incredible, mate. I could see it. And look, I watch the games on mute, obviously, but I can tell when the crowd are at it. And it was just... It was better to watch it back later that night when obviously I had the sound on. But if anybody still comes up with this lazy trope of Anfield's atmosphere is a myth, they just don't get it. They don't. It is a living, breathing thing. And unlike Jurgen, I don't take offence, but you all seen Jurgen turn around to the main stand and exchange words over Elliott's misplaced pass that caused some groans to come from the main stand. So, whilst I totally get that it's heat of the battle stuff and, you know, Jurgen's an emotional dude, I get all of that, but I also hope he understands that it's impossible to have fans who are happy all the time and still create that bear pit atmosphere. I like to kind of think of it like myself. People say to me, "Craig, we don't like when you go in on people or whatever," but I always say to you, you can't have that version of me and the other version of me. They can't exist on their own. I think it's the same with Anfield. Yeah, there will be occasions where Klopp hears things he doesn't like. People groaning about a misplaced pass is a natural human response. But you don't have those bear pit moments, those Anfield sucking the ball into the net moments, without people being on both ends of that spectrum. So I know in an ideal world, Jurgen would love everybody to be happy all the time, but that's not how the world works, is it? That's not how we're wired as human beings. Why do I watch games on mute? Because if I had an earpiece in listening to the game and I was trying to talk to you guys with my sensory issues around Asperger's, it would all jumble up in my brain and I wouldn't be able to differentiate, and it would just be crap for you. That's why I can't listen and talk at the same time. It just sounds like competing noises in my head. Any advice on starting a YouTube channel? I'll say what I always say to people: do it. Do it. It's the best thing I've ever done. So do it. Do it. Be consistent. Be yourself. Be sincere. And have fun with it. So do it. That's what I'd say. Everybody. You don't know what life has in store for you, but my psychologist once said to me, people that are lucky are people that put themselves out there to be lucky. So give it a go. And the copyright thing, Sinister, is also true as well. Yes, that's the reason why I don't have the TV on the sound on the TV, but I could have an earpiece in. I just can't do it. I find it distracting. What's your score prediction for Sunday? I went 3-1, Sam. 3-1 was my score prediction on the preview. I'd love you guys to get a chance to watch that preview. If you can, it's up on the channel. But yeah, 3-1 was my prediction. My starting 11 prediction was Kelleher, Bradley, Canade, Verge, Robbo, Waturo, Alexis, Gravenberch, Mohamed Salah, Cody Gakpo, and Lucho. That was my guess at a starting 11. What's your score prediction? Done that one. I feel Gomez will score. I don't think Gomez starts the League Cup final personally. But if he does, and let's say he starts at left back, it'd be amazing for him to score. I mean, we're all egging him on to get a goal before Jurgen departs. Could you update me on the fitness concerns for Sunday? Absolutely, Toby. 1 second, mate. Okay. So this is what Pep Lijnders said in his press conference earlier on today around injuries. Dom, Darwin and Mo, we have to really see. We have 2 more days, today's session and tomorrow's session. In the last minute we will check if they can be there. It'll be great, to be honest. And we did see pictures of Mohamed Salah and Darwin looking pretty happy and, at the AXA training facility today. He then went on to say Curtis has an ankle strain. He will be back in and around the international break. He said Alisson, muscle injury after the international break. It will really take time. Trent, lateral ligament. He will be after the international break. Jota, medial ligament. He'll be after the international break. But he goes on to say after the international break means we're not exactly sure of the exact dates. I think that was in relation to Jota. The good thing is, we always did in the past, we look to what we have. We need to accept that we have what we have and not just look at what we don't have. He goes on to say, with a few injuries, you get young players who didn't play 5 games in a row, but who can show up now. That's really cool. This season is a season where we've created 3 or 4 new teams in a season, and it's a compliment to our squad and the academy. Also on that, Matt Thielen last night put out a stat to say that Liverpool have used 15 academy players this season. 15. I think that's an incredible stat, honestly. 15. That is outstanding. No other word for it. That is just outstanding. And another crazy stat was in every game so far this season, we've yet to put out the same team twice in a row. That again is mind-blowing. Any Bajcetic news? No, not that I've seen, Dara. No, unfortunately, mate, I have not seen anything on Stefan Bajcetic. What's this one? Neil Jones posted earlier on and said Darwin and Salah both here are training. What to read into that, I'm not sure, but it's certainly more promising than if they weren't, which, again, Neil, I totally agree with. Let's have a little dig at Manchester City again, because you know that's one of my favourite things in the world to do. Anfield Sector posted this and quote tweeted something to say, buying Twitter ads to sell Champions League knockout game. Which indeed they were. There was a Twitter ad there that said, knockout Champions League action, City versus Copenhagen, Wednesday 6th of March. Tickets exclusively on sale to ticket members, matchday and junior members. Don't know of Liverpool or United ever having to flog tickets to a Champions League home knockout game at the last minute or beg people to come. Kind of, I don't know, almost makes you feel like they're a tin pot club who have inflated their actual support size and hide behind every excuse under the sun from, economic problems in the area, which, of course, like in all parts of Ireland, the UK and other parts of the world, of course it exists, but doesn't seem to exist for United or Liverpool. We seem to be able to sell out. Yeah, it's almost as if they're, as I said, a big plastic mess. There you go. But they are on a world tour with the trophies, so that's the important thing here, isn't it? That they're bringing the trophies around all their other clubs. Yay. I feel whatever team we put out on Sunday will lift the trophy. What do you think? Yes, I agree. I think we're better than Chelsea. Now look, it's a final. Anything's possible. An early red card could ruin the game as an example, or it could be a dour affair with a late set piece or something that somebody wins it with. But for me, I feel if we score the first goal, we will put Chelsea to the sword a little bit, because I don't think they have the stomach for the fight. And I know that Pochettino is going to be in that dressing room trying to rally the troops around exactly that. Nobody expects you to win this. Everybody thinks you can't play together. Everybody thinks that there's no team cohesion here, blah, 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 blah. But, I feel like we're a better drilled unit. So let's wait and see. But I'm certainly feeling bullish ahead of the final. But also, I've got to be really honest and say, I take 3 points against Nottingham Forest over the League Cup, because for me, the league is the priority. And I want us to get to that Manchester City game in as good a shape as possible. And if we beat them at Anfield, people will still tell me not to get ahead of myself. But sorry, if we beat Manchester City at Anfield, I'm in party mode at that point. I got to be honest with you. I think that's us winning the league if we do it. Hussein Ali said, I say it every day, City's bad for the Premier League. Look, what gets me about them, dude, is they keep trying to portray themselves as one of the most followed clubs across social media. We can all potentially buy bots and inflate our following. But what doesn't lie is empty seats, nobody showing up to parades, and the fact that really nobody gives a damn about Manchester City other than the really good hardcore group of local fans that they've had, and they deserve credit because they were brilliant in the days where City were down through the divisions. And then they have the former Chelsea fans who've decided that this week they're Manchester City fans because Manchester City are winning everything and they want to feel part of that. And that's cool, but they won't be there forever. I hate them. I despise them. Everything about them. The fact that, to me, they're like that person who tries to be all kind, soft, beautiful, and has a public persona of one thing, but behind the scenes, when the mask slips and comes off, the truth gets exposed. And I hope that that leads to them getting the charges against them found, proven, and punished. That's been my take all along. People will say it's bitterness and jealousy. It is in its arse. I had none of this feeling when United were winning leagues. When Arsenal were winning leagues, it was shit. It sucked, but I had respect for them. I have zero for this Manchester City team. Not just the players, I have nothing really against them as such, but the whole City project is just... You know what it is. You don't need me to keep telling you. It's pathetic. Craig, one complaint must be people bring up Mourinho and Tuchel's name. I'm getting angry. With Liverpool, I've not seen it, Torsten. I've seen Mourinho's name come up for the Bayern job. Tuchel wants to come back to the Premier League, and that's what's being reported in Germany. And I had this discussion with Ben, actually, because as you know, Ben's a United fan. And I said to him, what if Tuchel ended up being the Manchester United manager? Because Ten Hag's position is going to be reassessed at the end of the campaign as part of Ineos's assessment, I guess, of all the footballing side of things at United. And he was very much of the mindset of, no, thank you, definitely don't want him there. But honestly, I think Tuchel would be a step up from Ten Hag. But I do understand where Ben's coming from as well. It's a weird time for management, though. Like, outside of Klopp, Guardiola, Ancelotti, you look around the world now and, there's not really the managers in their late 40s, early 50s that are superstars. But there was a lot of Alonso's, Amarim's, De Zerbi's, young coaches making their name in the game. And I guess everyone's now trying to second guess and figure out who's going to be the next Klopp, Mourinho, Guardiola, Ancelotti. And it kind of makes it interesting because this is where I think our owners will actually come into their own because of the way that we study, analyse and assess things. I think I feel confident we'll get it right. I don't know if you guys think the same about the managerial world, but if you go back 10 years ago, you would probably have right now 6, 7, 8 names you'd be thinking of for the Liverpool job. But as of right now, with Carlo Ancelotti obviously at Real Madrid, Pep Guardiola selling a soul to Manchester City, and Jurgen Klopp departing Liverpool, I don't really know. Even if I could pick a manager from anywhere else who I'd get, I still feel I'd end up at Alonso, as mad as that may sound to some people, because I feel it's a good connection. You'd certainly have Unai Emery's name mentioned as well if he wasn't at Aston Villa. I think his credentials would certainly at least get him consideration for the job. They bring up names because they're big names and a lot of managers will be free in the summer. It's just speculation, nothing more. It's certainly interesting though. There does seem to be a bit of a merry-go-round happening at the minute. So you had Xavi Hernandez obviously announcing he's leaving Barca, Jurgen announcing he's leaving Liverpool, Tuchel announcing he's leaving, but the realistic future there is he's getting the boot. Obviously Roy Hodgson's been replaced as well at Crystal Palace. Will Pochettino be at Chelsea or will they look to change? United, what's going to happen with Ten Hag? And that's before you get into the race for sporting directors who are in themselves now becoming celebrities or, really prominent positions that fans are starting to look at as not as important as a manager, but certainly a very important role at the club. And that's where I'm interested to see. I'm fully convinced Alonso's the target for the managerial role. But as I sit here now, could I tell you who I think is favourite for the sporting director role? I honestly don't know. I've seen some good lists on The Athletic going through the pros and cons of who's available right now. And there are some pretty impressive candidates that are out there, but I don't know who the favourite might be right now. I wouldn't even know in what way the club are leaning, honestly. I'd love to know what you guys think of it. Do you have any particulars that you think the club are favouring? We've seen Tim Steiten, obviously, of West Ham now. His name was mentioned. We've seen Simon Rolfs, I think, who's the guy that brought Xabi to Leverkusen. Paul Mitchell's name is still doing the rounds, former sporting director at Monaco. Then there's the guy at Nice. I don't know his name off the top of my head, but he's fairly well regarded. Paul Jewell's son, I can't remember his name. I think Chelsea are looking for him to become their chief scout or head of scouting or something. So Yeah, it's mad. Liverpool definitely did try to get Edwards back, though. That's been mentioned on a couple of occasions. Is that the final score there, Jared? Leverkusen 2, Mainz 1, which again would give them an 11-point lead at the top of the Bundesliga, with Bayern having a game in hand, but again, one step closer again to that first ever Bundesliga title. What about Tuchel at Liverpool? Not for me. I don't think he's a good cultural fit. He's got the CV, but I don't think Tuchel is Liverpool fan friendly. And that's me being as fair as I can be with it. There's another part of it that I've mentioned honestly as well, is like, he would just feel like we're getting Klopp light. I know that's a lazy assessment by me, but I don't want Thomas Tuchel. I can't take to him. I don't like him. I don't like how he carries himself. I just don't like him. If we had to have a German, I'd probably edge Nagelsmann. Pep Linders knows the players inside out. I thought he would have stepped in. I literally read this earlier on, Wayne. You might not have been with us at the time, but he has spoken about his decision to leave Liverpool. He said, "We knew already in the summer we're coming towards the end of the project. Last year's I've got offers. My heart always said yes, but my loyalty and respect and friendship with Mike and Jurgen said no. So the moment we spoke and he said, I'm thinking about leaving, I said, that's it. For me, it's clear. I will go and manage." And then he goes on to speak about the fact that it's better for the club to have a clean break and look to bring in a new manager with to continue the good work that Jurgen has done, but put their own stand on it. So it was Sam Jewell. Mark sent me this. Sam Jewell took the Chelsea job as head of recruitment. And that Leverkusen win now means they're unbeaten in 33 games, which is a new record. So yes, Xabi Alonso's credentials are getting better and better as the days go by. Michael Lavin, you didn't put a comment in, mate, but appreciate your super chat, mate. Thank you. Would I have been happy to take Linders on as Liverpool manager? I don't think I would have been happy. I would have tried to convince myself that that old boot room mentality might have been worth it a go, but I just don't think he has the charisma and the stature to be the Liverpool manager yet. I'm very intrigued to see what happens in his managerial career when he does depart. You know, I think Leverkusen, Sporting Lisbon, if they lose their managers, they could do a lot worse than looking at Pep Linders to come in there, because he is a very, very highly regarded coach. No, I'm not going back over the stream title for those asking. I've done it 6 times so far for people that have come in. Just rewind the stream back, or people in the chat will tell you. But I'm not going to go back over it again, guys. We did confirm the fixtures, by the way, for the last 16, for those of you who may not have heard. The first leg will take place at 5:45 p.m. at the Stadion Letna on Thursday, March the 7th in Prague. Again, reminder, 5:45 there, so the earlier kickoff slot. And the second leg at Anfield is an 8 p.m. kickoff on Thursday, March 14th. With the quarterfinals, if we get there, taking place April 11th and 18th. The semi-finals May 2nd and 9th. And of course the final in Dublin on March 22nd. Do it 7 times. No. Rewind the stream. I can't do 7. I'm still traumatized. So, if it had been 5 times, I might have done a 6, but I can't do a 7th. The poll. So let's have a look at the poll. We asked you guys, do you think Salah and Darwin both start on Sunday? And it's closer than I thought it was going to be. 55% of you guys think that yes, Mohamed Salah and Darwin Núñez both start, and 45% think that they don't. So we'll end that poll there. I would be in the 45%. I think Mo starts, but I think he protects Darwin and puts him on the bench. I hope I'm wrong, because God almighty, I'd be a lot more confident if it was Darwin, Diaz and Salah as the front three, but my guess is going to be Salah, Gakpo and Diaz with Darwin on the bench. And I'd even go a step further to say I'd leave Darwin on the bench if we don't need him. Just to wrap him up in cotton wool and make sure he's available. Michael said, "Hey Craig, love you." Thank you, Michael. He said, "If we do get Xabi and he fecks up, we can always get Big Sam in for the last few games." I don't think the relegation battle would be quite there, but I mean, I am interested to see what people's thought processes are and expectations if indeed we do appoint Alonso. I wouldn't really know what I'd expect. I know qualifying for Champions League would be a minimum, and getting out of the Champions League group and going into the latter stages of the tournament would be a minimum for any coach. But I don't know if I'd have an expectation for Alonso to come in and necessarily win one of the big two, certainly in his first year. But then again, I guess it's hard for any of us to know that answer properly without seeing what our competitors are doing. From a managerial sense, from a recruitment sense, what type of summer window are we going to expect? Because remember, it'll be a bit of a condensed window because we have the Euros to contend with as well. So shorter pre-seasons. And if indeed we do wait till the summer to appoint Alonso or another coach, a lot of work to be done very quickly, and that's before we discuss Mohamed Salah, Virgil van Dijk and Trent Alexander-Arnold's contract renewals. Poll, do we think Alonso comes to Liverpool? Happily do that for you, mate, for the last few minutes of the stream. Yeah, let me just ask. Cool. Right, really quickly, will Alonso be our next manager? Yay or nay? Santino again, thank you mate for your super chat. So, do you think Simeone would work in the Premier League, not for Liverpool? Yes, I think he would work for certain clubs. I think Simeone might be a good fit at Manchester United, as an example, because he's a real proper disciplinarian, not a Poundland version like Ten Hag. Excuse me. He wouldn't work at clubs like West Ham, Spurs, who want to play a certain attacking brand of football. I don't think he'd work at Liverpool, as I mentioned previously, but Chelsea potentially could work for Simeone. Like, I do rate him as a coach and as a motivator and as a leader, but I just could not watch his football. I couldn't stick with Liverpool playing Cholo Simeone football. It just wouldn't. No, I couldn't do it. No pressure next season. Xabi knows he'll be given ample time. You see, you say that, Adam, and I love that you say that, by the way, but we also know that even with the greatest of intentions, there is some expectation and some pressure. If we were to be 10th halfway through the league, I don't think we'd be having this conversation where we all say no pressure. You do have to hit minimum requirements, and Champions League football should be a must for us. This season feels, it feels weird, but it also feels like we've missed a real good opportunity, because if we were in the Champions League this season, I'd have us in the top 3 contenders to win it. I'd say City, obviously, unfortunately, Real Madrid and us would be the 3 main contenders in my mind. Arsenal, I think, might take our spot as the potential third team to maybe do it if they get their finger out and sort out the Porto result, which they're going to be angry about conceding that goal late. Bayern Munich, they ain't winning the Champions League. And I don't think we're going to get a real surprise contender to pop out. I think it's going to be Real Madrid or them lot. The ticket sellers, that's what we'll call them from now on. Klopp got time, so will the next manager. Yeah, see, that's great, cool and all, but also, no. Klopp got time because the club was in a very, very bad way. Klopp got time because there was a rebuild that had to be done and it needed a certain manager to come in and do it. So again, it isn't comparable. You're walking into a different environment right now than Jurgen walked into. So again, I feel like that's just happy clappy nonsense, to be honest with you. That doesn't have any realm of realism to the situation. I mean, I like that you tried to say it and all. I'm not having a knock at you. But the fact of the matter is, it's a very different football club to the one that Jurgen took the reins of when he did. We're a lot healthier. Thanks to Jurgen, by the way, and our owners and the recruitment team and all the players. We're in a much, much, much stronger position. So the expectations would have to be adjusted accordingly. So that's my real understanding of the situation, of how I view it anyway. But yes, of course, any Liverpool manager should be given time. But it's where your project's at when you come in that dictates, I guess, what the aims are. So Jurgen's aim when he came in was to get us back challenging, to get us being regular Champions League contributors, to attract players in, to play a certain brand of football, to galvanise the club and the supporters. And I think we'll all agree wholeheartedly he ticked all of those boxes. But Xabi's coming in, hopefully. And, you know, we're not going to stomach a couple of seasons back in the Europa League in a row, or and let's be honest, we're not. I think you, the fans, have to give the new manager time. Again, I might be sounding like I'm some type of aggressive lunatic that demands Champions League titles immediately. That's not what I'm trying to say. A new manager will, of course, have to have time to put things their way, but results have to be part of that as well. You know, we're going to want to be competitive, and once the new manager delivers the Champions League qualification, the pressure's off, because that's the real earner. Let's be honest, that's what's going to dictate transfer budgets and attractiveness to sponsors, players, all that kind of stuff. So once the new manager, whomever they are in and around those positions, yeah, I think they'll be given time. But you don't want to see a Chelsea situation where a new manager comes in and we're 10th. You know, let's be honest, we're starting to scratch our heads at that point. So Mark saying, in added time, it's currently Leeds United 2, Leicester City 1. Big result that for Leeds. Big result in the Championship. I need the Sabo news. I just joined. Well, then you need to press rewind, Fahim, and watch the stream back from the start, bro. Or ask somebody in the chat. But it's nothing you need to worry about anyway. It was a misunderstanding that for a couple of, well, an hour maybe, had us all scratching our heads a bit, but it was resolved, and it's kind of got a fairly reasonable outcome. Is there any injury news? So the only news we got was that SZOBOSZLAI, Darwin and Mo are contenders for Sunday. I think Mo and Darwin are probably stronger contenders to be in the squad. Trent, international break, there or thereabouts. Ali after the international break. Jones, again, he said in and around that time frame. Jota and Alisson after the international break. Didn't give an update by Cetic that I'd seen. Thiago, again, I didn't see anything new there. Matip, we know, is going to be probably not play for Liverpool again, unfortunately. I think I've covered everyone there, mate, but if I haven't, please do let me know in the chat. Oh, 3-1 Leeds. Oh, hello. Leeds got their late goal there to make it 3-1. Is SZOBOSZLAI playing? It'll be touch and go, Keane. It'll be touch and go. Pep Linder said that I think there's a couple of sessions left before Sunday, and they're taking it day by day, but he's very close. That's all I can say to you, mate, because that's all that we know. What's this, Harvey? Oh, sorry. Try my best. Just very interesting to deal with. Kind of hurts. What's up, Harvey? I'm just scrolling back, bud, to see what. Trying to focus on myself for sure. Still learning and growing, I guess. Trust issues. They got worse, so I'm scared to get a new girl. I'll tell you what, Harvey, I've only caught a little bit of what you've been saying, mate, but never stop putting yourself out there, mate. Never stop putting your heart on the line, because for all the times that it gets trampled on and for all the hurt, it will make you appreciate the one when she arrives or he arrives. And it'll make it all worthwhile. So, I'm only catching bits and pieces of what you're saying, but don't ever stop searching for happiness, and don't ever stop putting yourself out there, mate. Yeah, you'll get trampled on at times and get hurt, but just like losing in finals and stuff in sport, it makes you appreciate when you lift the trophy or when you find the one. And that happens at different points of our life, you know. For me, I was very fortunate. I met my wife and started dating my wife when I was 19, and you know, we're here together since. But I also had a heartbreak like everybody else in my teenage years. So don't give up, man. Keep putting your heart on the line, and the right person will be there for you. What competition is the Leeds one? It's in the Championship, mate. Championship. And that, the race for the automatic promotion spots there are really heating up. That's a big result for Leeds tonight. Do you think the younger players will be too nervous of a final at Wembley? Look, of course they'll have nerves, but I guess you don't get to play for a club like Liverpool unless you're able to handle those occasions. And what we've seen of the young players that have been given opportunities this season is a lot of them are fearless, particularly young Conor Bradley, Bobby Clark, even young Dan's when he came on for a few minutes against Luton Town. Straight into the game, straight into the action, straight into contributing towards Harvey Elliott's goal. So yeah, you know, they're all going to be nervous. Waturo will probably be nervous because it's a big occasion at Wembley, cup final. But that's what it's all about. That's what they work hard for. That's what they dream about. And working with the team that Klopp has been working with as well, the neuroscience team, and working with sports psychologists and stuff. It's about getting those guys ready to peak and perform at the best of their abilities and to play the game and not the occasion. That's easier said than done. And I'm definitely somebody, if I was involved in high level sport, I'd need a psychologist to keep me in the right mindset and focused. But a lot of professional athletes are very good at compartmentalizing things, and that old phrase, play the game, not the occasion, is very, very true. Right, my friends, I'm going to say goodnight to you, and I'm going to go spend some time with my good lady wife. Tomorrow, this is what you can expect, by the way. Myself and Ben are going to be live from 7:30 on Top of the League. We're going to do a watch-along of Arsenal-Newcastle, so we hope you can join us for that one. I'll be live here on Anfield Agenda at 6:15. So we'll do 6:15 to 7:30 on here, and then we'll go straight over onto Top of the League to cover Arsenal-Newcastle. So again, whatever you guys do over the weekend, if I don't see you tomorrow, have an amazing weekend. And don't forget, an hour before kickoff, we'll be live right here. Thank you to our sponsors as well, Surfshark. Scan that QR code or use the code Anfield Agenda at checkout to get that offer of Surfshark for just over €2 per month, plus up to 6 months additional free. And don't forget, if you're in Boston, 4 weeks from today, we will be live in the beautiful city of Boston. We'd love to see you. You can get your tickets on Ticketmaster. If you've any questions, please feel free to email us about it and we'll get back to you. But yeah, have a good one.